Alright, my Kerbal Space Program channel Beyond the Wormhole recently passed 100 subscribers this week, and I wanted to do something a little different for a little special. And if you don't know me or my channel, I do stock part missions from the stock Kerbal Space Program system to the Kcalbeloh system, which is from a Planet Pack expansion mod for Kerbal Space Program that adds a bunch of new locations, and I based my channel around exploring these. But the names of all the planets in this mod are like super whack, and nobody knows how to pronounce them.
Kcalbeloh.
But I recently had a subscriber put me onto this little Easter egg that all the names in this planet pack might be something interesting spelled backwards. And so I'm going to do this little 100 subscriber special to do a deep dive on that and check it out. Alright, so this is the map of the planets and other stuff in the Kcalbeloh planet pack. There are 4 star systems in total if you count the local black hole system. And so the first one that you'll encounter if you use the wormhole that connects the stock Kerbal Space Program system to this new system is the Sunorc system. The first planet I went to in my series is Seleuco. Now this guy backwards is Oculus, which is a popular VR headset thing. And this basically just means like an eyeball. But Seleuco is an eyeball planet, which is an interesting phenomenon where a tightly locked planet faces its star with the same side at all times in its orbit, develops kind of a nasty sunburn. Kind of neat. So the first planet you'll encounter after entering the wormhole that connects it to the Kcalbeloh system is the planet Sarah, which is like a warmer, larger Mars with an ocean and a ring system. It's actually just Ares backwards, which if you've read Percy Jackson or whatever is like the Greek version of Mars, god of war. In this case, I would say Sarah's a lot cooler though, because of its rings and its oceans, much cooler views. And so the most exterior planets in the Sunorc system are the Symmetra binary ice/gas giants, which orbit each other's shared center of mass. The orangish one is Artemis backwards, which is named for the Greek goddess of hunting, sister of Apollo, and it's actually got its own real-life NASA program now, and its own new rocket called the SLS. Although looking at the rocket stats, it's basically going to be obsolete next to the SpaceX Starship. And you might say I'm just like glazing Elon Musk right now, but who do you think is more likely to watch this video? Okay, the next one is Themis backwards, which is like the Greek goddess of justice or something. This statue only has one arm. The first moon of this system is Orion backwards, which at first glance you might think is just like a really millennial respelling of Orion, which is like everyone's favorite first constellation, but it's actually just like a mythical guy who was kidnapped by pirates and was, according to myth, rescued by riding dolphins. And it's the whole origin of the reoccurring like rescued by dolphins motif that might pop up in movies here and there. The ice moon next up is Chiron, which is one of those like training montage centaur guys who get the Greek heroes ready to fight stuff. The next gaseous moon is Neureg, or Gurion backwards, which is like a monster with the head of an old dude with a long beard and dragon legs with dog claws or something. The system star called Sunorc is Cronus backwards, who is basically everyone's grandpa in Greek myth, basically if he didn't eat their parents as babies first. The next one is a hot Jupiter called Seta, which is Hades backwards, god of the underworld, and it makes sense because this bad boy is kind of hot. Okay, next up we got a binary star system called Aralk, which is Clara backwards, which is just some, like, I don't know, girl's name that means bright or something. This lava planet Anaheg is Gehenna backwards, which basically means hell. So apparently it was a valley in Jerusalem where they used to sacrifice kids biblically, like Isaac style back in the day. And then when that went out of style, they turned it into a garbage dump to discourage that sort of behavior. And the whole thing just turned into another word for hell, because it just kind of sucked as a locale. Looks cool in KSP though. The next planet is Atpan, or Naphtha backwards. That's an ancient Greek word or Greek root for a kind of highly flammable petroleum, which is probably a reference to the petroleum/kerosene oceans that this planet has. Don't try to soft land in the oceans with a space plane or swim in it though, because you'll sink. The next planet is called Aurora, which is basically still Aurora backwards if you spell it backwards. So it's not too surprising that it has auroras all over it, from the binary solar wind close by, interacting with the planet's magnetic field. And so this system's also got a mega gas giant called Aneta, which is like Athena backwards, and she's like the god of knowing stuff, or the goddess of knowing stuff. But its moons are named with the etymology background of a first grader. Not that that's a bad thing or anything. This one is stone backwards because it's made of rocks. The next one is life backwards because this moon is habitable for Kerbals. This one is blue backwards because it's blue. And this one is Dale for some reason. Moving on to a solar system closer to the black hole, we've got the Emo system. And it's not, and the names of this one is not really like after any Greek references. It's more like something that would maybe be like a Linkin Park title, like song title. The star is a brown dwarf, which is Gleam backwards. Then we got another desert eyeball planet, which is Anthem backwards. And Requiem is like a little dwarf planet thing.
Have you guys ever seen that movie Requiem for a Dream? Dude, that movie's messed up.
And moving on to the local black hole system and the planets that orbit it, we've got Iomena, or Anemoy backwards, which is a little windy guy spirit in Greek mythology. Alright, the other one's called Uleg, or Gelu backwards. I couldn't really find anything about this in Greek, ancient Greek, but it's like a Mesopotamian root for ghoul. So that's the origin of that word. Alright, so the closest one to the black hole is Onrefni, or Inferno backwards, again for obvious reasons. And okay, this planet, Rokea, or Aequar backwards, is a giant ocean world, kind of exactly like Miller's planet on Interstellar, minus the humongous tidal waves that cause some problems. But anyway, that brings us to the black hole Kcalbeloh, which is underwhelmingly just black hole backwards if you switch the order of the words. But yeah, that's the reason why the names in this mod are so funky. They're little Easter eggs. Yeah, but I've been trying to visit the whole Kcalbeloh system on my channel while trying to keep my crafts as stock-like as possible. And here's where I've been so far. And make sure to like and subscribe to see me go to more of these cool spots with as much stock parts as possible. Like I was saying, I'm trying to make this sort of Planet Pack mod in these destinations a little bit more accessible to the average KSP player who doesn't play a lot of like far future mods or that sort of thing. But yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know if you like this style of video in the comments. I've got some really cool missions coming up, and I'll see you then.